You open your bank statement and find the subscriptions. There's an AI tool in there, and you forgot you're paying for it. Maybe there's two. You signed up because someone said it would change everything, but you used it twice and it's still charging you. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. The problem was never the tool. You don't need a better one, and you definitely don't need more of them. A coaching business needs 4 AI systems. That's it, just 4. Everything else is noise that quietly costs you money. And this isn't just my opinion. MIT studied this in 2025, that 95% of AI projects inside companies delivered no measurable return. Not because the tools were bad, but because they were never part of a system. So here's what I'll do. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly the 4 systems your coaching business needs and the 6 kinds of tools that you can cancel today. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan. I help business owners buy back their time with AI systems. I'm building my own live, and I've tested or built every one of these tools in a real business. That's how I know each 4 earn their place. Let's get started. Let me describe a screen to you. It might be yours or a fellow business owner's. A dozen tabs open, 2 or 3 AI tools you're trialing, and a list someone sent you of 40 more that you should try. And you're sitting there with no idea where to start. That's choice paralysis. It's the most common place I find coaches stuck. And it doesn't make you behind, it's just that there's too many doors and nobody handed you a map. The other version is worse. You already picked one, you signed up, you paid, and you've got it running. Then you found a catch. To keep it working, you had to keep feeding it. Keep prompting it, keep fixing what it gave back, and keep showing up to run it. The tool didn't take work off your plate. It became the work. So, you quietly stopped using it, but it's still on your card. You're not unusual here. More than half of all software subscriptions go mostly unused. Companies waste about 1/3 of everything they spend on tools. I had a call just last week with a coach who was smart, successful, years into her business, and the thing she kept circling wasn't which tool to buy, it was where do I even start? She didn't have the tool problem, she had a system problem. So let's make the distinction clear, because the whole video rests on it. A tool is something that does a task for you. A system is the way you use a tool or set of tools so that you end up doing less of the work. A tool waits for you to show up, where a system runs whether you show up or not. Let's take an online store and compare it to you. An online store only has a backend to run, but you, as a coach, have 2 jobs. You've got the backend as well, the admin, the follow-up, and the content, but you also have to manage the relationships. Real people, real conversations, and the actual coaching. A pile of disconnected tools helps with neither. It just hands you a 3rd job, managing the tools. So for the rest of this video, you'll learn the 4 systems that are actually worth your time, and you'll stop collecting the ones that aren't. So what are these 4 systems? Every coaching business runs on a similar loop. You attract people, you convert them, you deliver for them, and underneath it all, you decide where to point your time. So these 4 systems help with each part. System 1 is context. This is the one nobody tells you about, and it's the one that everything else depends on. A context system is how your AI actually knows your business. Right now, when you ask ChatGPT for help, it's guessing. It doesn't know your offers, it doesn't know your clients, and it doesn't know your numbers. So, you get generic advice, dressed up to sound specific. A context system fixes that. The workspace you're looking at is mine. I sat down with Claude and interviewed with it the way you'd brief a new hire. I told it about my business, my clients, and my goals. And then I wired it to my real data, my YouTube subscribers, revenue, my recorded calls, pulled in fresh every single day. So now the AI knows 2 things, what my business is and how it's actually performing. And it creates the gap between generic advice and a recommendation worth acting on. So context first, and everything else will read from it. Now on to system 2, lead generation and follow-up. This is your outbound engine. If you run any cold outreach, cold email, or DMs, this system runs it for you. It'll research a prospect before any single message goes out, so what lands is personal and not a copy and paste, and it follows up with every lead who showed interest and every discovery call that hasn't closed yet. So nothing goes quiet just because you got busy. I'm making a full video on a CRM that builds itself coming shortly, and I've already made a video on handling your follow-up for you. Those will be linked below. Now system 3 is your content and personal brand. If lead gen is your outbound, this is your inbound. Here's the real reason your content keeps slipping. It's not that you don't care, it's just that it needs 4 interrupted hours that you never actually get. So it's the first thing you drop in the week when delivery gets heavy, which is backwards. Your content is what fills next month's pipeline. A content system gives the AI context about your brand specifically, your voice, your audience, what you stand for. Then it helps you go from a rough idea to a finished piece in a fraction of the time. I made a whole video on building a personal brand with AI as well, and it's the exact system I use to build this video and every video on my channel. Now, system 4, client delivery and onboarding. You just closed a client, So you celebrate for about 10 minutes, but then you lose the rest of the day. You have to send the welcome email, the contract, the resources, start their kickoff content, and the expectation setting. It's about 2 to 4 hours of small tasks done all by hand every single time. An AI delivery system can handle that though. Your contract signed, the invoice paid, and the client is automatically sent everything they need to start, and you did nothing. And it doesn't stop at onboarding. The AI can actually draft actual work. For a coach, that might be a personalized first draft coaching plan, built from their intake so it's personalized and ready for you to refine. Not generic, it's actually theirs. That's the 4. Context, lead gen, content, and delivery. And here's why it's these 4 and not 3 or 7. Together, they're the whole business. Lead gen brings people in from outbound, content from inbound, and delivery serves them once they say yes. And context sits under all of it, keeping every system pointed at the right strategy. And it updates as your numbers change. Attract, convert, deliver, and decide. 4 systems, 1 business, nothing else is essential. And quick one before we keep going, if you're getting something out of this, hit subscribe. I post regular videos about how to implement AI into your business. Now the other side. What about the 6 that you can let go of? I want to be fair here. Most of these are not bad tools. They're just not systems. They don't fit the 4. The first one is standalone chatbots stacked on top of each other. I'm talking about Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Grok, and maybe a couple more that you've trialed and never canceled. Each one promises a slightly different speciality, but in practice, 90% of the work overlaps. A second chatbot won't unlock anything the first one can't. You're paying 4 times for 1 conversation, so you should pick the best one that works for you and cancel the rest. Next is your set it and forget AI website and funnel builders. These are the tools that promise a whole sales funnel built overnight by AI. You type your business in and wake up to a finished site. But here's the catch. A website is a brochure, and even a beautiful one doesn't operate your business. It doesn't follow up with the lead who landed on it. It doesn't onboard the client who paid you, and it doesn't draft tomorrow's content. It sits there looking nice while every actual job still fails you. Number 3 is yet another AI note taker when you already have one. Stuff like Fathom, Otter, Fireflies, Read, Granola, and Plod. They all do the same job. They sit in your meeting and spit out a transcript. 1 is enough, and 2 is paying twice for the same notes. Especially when some of these offer free plans that do all you need. But hold that thought. There's some nuance there, and we're going to come back to it in a second. Number 4, autonomous AI agents from the hype marketplaces. You've seen the posts. This agent runs your entire business while you sleep, and you just click deploy. But what you actually get is a generic agent template that knows nothing about your business and connects to none of your tools. So you spend 2 weeks trying to wire it in, babysitting every output, and quietly turn it off. The agents that work are built into your context, not bought off of some marketplace. Number 5, AI scheduling and calendar gimmicks. Reclaim, Motion, Clockwise, tools that promise AI will run your calendar for you. Look at what they actually do. They auto-block your focus time, reshuffle meetings, and suggest the best slot for a call. None of that was costing your week. You have Calendly that already books meetings for you, and since you already know when your best work happens, you can block off that time in bulk. This is serving a problem you didn't have. Finally, number 6 is single-purpose tools that connect to nothing else. This is the AI proposal writer, the AI Instagram caption tool, the AI cold email generator, the AI bio writer. Each one does one narrow job. Each one charges $20, $30, and up to $50 a month even. Every output stays trapped inside that tool. What you wrote about a client in the proposal app never reaches what you're writing about them in the email app. And 10 of these is 10 little islands, not one system. And that's the leak from the start of this video. This is why 42% of companies walked away from most of their AI projects last year. Not because AI doesn't work, but because they bought tools, not systems. So here's a test you can run on anything. 1, does it know your business? Or are you re-explaining yourself every time you open? 2, does it run without you? Or does it only do anything when you sit down and drive it? 3, does it connect to your other tools? Or does the output stay trapped inside only for you needing to copy it out by hand? If a tool fails one of these 3 tests, it's a tool that you're managing and not a system that's serving you. Now back to that note taker, because this is a nuance. You should have a note taker, everyone should, and it's not a mistake. The mistake is thinking that the transcript is the value, because it isn't. The value is your context system knowing what was said in that meeting, what you promised a client, and what a prospect told you they needed. The note taker by itself is just a tool and an input. But the system is what makes it matter. When you create the system that takes the transcript and puts it into your workspace, so all of your AI tools know what you said in every meeting, makes the real difference. So I'm not telling you to go cancel everything today. I am telling you to open the list and look at every tool on it and ask yourself one honest question. Is this tool actually giving my business value? If you can't answer that fast, you already know. Where do you start? Well, not by buying anything. That's a trap. We already saw that. You just watched 6 categories of tools to get cut out, so don't go and replace them with 6 new ones by Friday. Start with one system. I recommend starting with context. Context goes first for a simple reason. Once AI knows your business and your numbers, it can tell you what to build next. You won't have to guess which of the other 3 you need because the context system will point you at the answer. And on its own, context already changes your week. You get a daily check-in, a short read that tells you where your business is standing, and you'll stop wondering where your numbers are sitting because you know every day. And then you add one more system, whichever one maps your biggest pain right now, told to you by your contact system. The pipeline's going quiet? Well, then that's your lead generation. You're losing whole days to onboarding? Then it's your delivery. One layer at a time, not all 4 at once. Give it 6 months, the back end is running, a real chunk of your week is genuinely off your plate, and then you'll actually have the time to go and build the 3rd system and the 4th. That's the whole difference between collecting tools and building a business that runs without you. Before you click anything else, you now know the 4 systems that your coaching business needs and the 6 kinds of tools you don't. Don't go tool shopping, go look at what you're already paying for and be honest. Which ones are actually earning their place? The 4 systems your coaching business needs and the 6 kinds of tools you don't. Context, lead gen, content, and delivery. Build context first and figure out which one you need to build next. And if this made the noise a little quieter, subscribe. I make regular videos about how to implement AI into your coaching business. I've got a full video coming out on a CRM that built itself right on screen. I've already made the lead gen and follow-up system as well as the personal brand system. And I'm going to leave you with one question before you go. How many AI subscriptions are you actually paying for right now that you couldn't say are earning their place? Drop that number in the comments. Thanks for watching.